Hey guys, it's Kaz here, aka Cats and Camera, and this is my March haul. No, why do I always say haul when I mean wrap up? Hey guys, it's Kaz here, aka Cats and Camera, and this is my March wrap up. I read 10 things in March, so I'm not going to do very much of a summary for each of these things. But if you want to know more of my thoughts on an individual book or graphic novel, then just comment below and I'll give you more of my thoughts about whatever you're interested in. So anyway, let's just get into it. So the first thing I read in March feels like about 3 years ago, but it was In the Path of Fallen Objects by Andrew Smith. It genuinely feels like so long ago that I read this, but this book is about two brothers that leave home and go across America trying to find their older brother or their dad, and they meet these two people in a car and they're not such great people. There's murders in here, there's suspense, there's all the weird and creepy stuff that you come to expect from Andrew Smith. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I think I gave it 4 stars. That's what I give most things, not gonna lie. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. So the next thing I read was The Killing Joke. Obviously a Batman comic about the Joker. And this is by Alan Moore and Brian Bolland. Really thin, really little. And this is my first Batman comic that I've ever read, so I feel like if I knew more of the actual comic I would have enjoyed it more. I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't like amazing for me, but maybe that's just because I don't really know the characters very well. But yeah, everybody likes the Joker, don't they? So this was a fun read. A really cool cover as well. But this is basically just like an origin story for the Joker. So here's sort of artwork in here. It's all in colour, and then the sort of flashback scenes are in black and white with just a little hint of sort of pinky peach colour there. All the flashback to the Joker before he became the Joker. There's not really much I can say about this one. I feel like this is like the most famous Batman comic anyway, so if you're into getting into Batman, you've probably heard of this already. Next up, after that, I read Chew Volume 6. This is Space Cakes by John Layman and Rob Guillory. I really should check whether his name's Guillory or Guillory. I still haven't done it. But yeah, this was such a great issue. I give this 5 out of 5. It was so good. It was funny. There was a lot of things happening that you wouldn't expect to happen. It was just, yeah, really good volume of this. I also got a one-shot in the middle about Poya, which was always fun to read because they're just ridiculous and over the top, but it's just really fun to read. Shall I say what this is about? I say it all the time. This one is set in a world where different people can have different powers relating to food. So for instance, Tony Shu, the main character, if he eats food he gets a psychic impression from it, so he can taste when the apple was picked, what pesticides are on it, stuff like that. And then his sister, also Tony Chu but with an I instead of a Y, she can kind of see the future when she eats stuff. Yeah, it's like I say, it's a really over the top but really fun and enjoyable comic series that I recommend to everybody because I really enjoy this. So yeah, I feel like I show this artwork in like every single video I do, but here's the sort of artwork you get in Chew. It's just really nice, clean lines. There's a lot of things going on in the background. It's just, I say this all the time, but it's my favourite sort of artwork, sort of very modern. But yeah, that's what it looks like anyway. So after that I picked up Bait by Alex Sanchez. I've read nearly all of his books now. This is like the second to last one I think that I've not read. So I picked this one up, and this is about the main character that hits a guy in school, and then because of that he gets put on probation, and then it's all about him coming to terms with stuff that's happened in his past and talking to his probation officer about why he's so angry and stuff like that. But it was definitely an enjoyable read. Again, I think I give this 4 stars. Generally if I like a book I give it 4. That's just me, that's just my go-to for books that I like. But yeah, I like Alex Sanchez as a writer anyway, so I did enjoy this one. After that I picked up The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. This is the first in the Kane Chronicles trilogy, and honestly I was really let down by this book. I thought I was going to enjoy it because I like the Percy Jacksons, I like the Heroes of Olympus, but this, it just fell flat for so many reasons to me. I just didn't enjoy it at all. I thought it was too long. It just was really long-winded. It's like 500 pages, I think, something like that. And not much happens in there. I didn't really enjoy the main characters. I didn't like the fact that it was written as if they were recording it after all the stuff's happened. So, even though I know it's middle grade, so there's not really any jeopardy anyway, but the fact that they were just casually, nonchalantly talking about like, oh yeah, and then this happened, kind of takes away any sort of jeopardy or any sort of, I don't know, mystery about what's going to happen. You know they're fine, you know nothing too bad's happened because they're just joking and laughing about stuff when they're telling you the story. I just really didn't enjoy that. And also randomly in brackets, it'll be like Sadie's chapter, and then in brackets it'll be like, no Carter, I don't want to say that. And it just really took you out of the story, just these little random things. I didn't enjoy that at all. Also, I feel like the voices were too similar. A lot of the time I found myself having to glance up at the top where it says whose chapter it was because I forgot. Because they both kind of sounded the same. They had the same voice. And also, I felt like they acted a lot older than they were. Sadie, they're brother and sister basically. I've not really said anything about this, have I? It's a brother and sister that's been split up for quite a few years. One with their grandparents and one with their dad. And then they come back together and find out all this crazy stuff about the Egyptian gods and how they're related to all that. You know how it goes if you've read Percy Jackson. But this is obviously the Egyptian version. And yeah, the sister, Sadie, she's 12 in this, and sometimes she just sounds a lot older. Like she was fawning over a guy, and that just felt too old for the way she was saying it. Yeah. I give this 2 stars. I think I originally gave it 3, but then I marked it down to 2 because I've read other stuff that I liked more as 3. It wasn't horrible. I have the other 2 books, so I'm going to read it at some point. It's just this book kind of put me off. I really hope it picks up. Because there were a couple of characters in there that I liked. I liked Anubis. Yeah, I say a couple of characters. I liked Anubis. No, there probably were a few other ones, but I can't remember because, honestly, I just took away the fact that this was really boring and long-winded. So yeah, not too great. I hope the other 2 books kind of pick up and make it better. So after that tragedy, I needed to pick me up. So what did I pick up? Pow. Volume 7 and 8 of Chew. So volume 7 over here is Bad Apples and volume 8 is Family Recipes. I've already talked about the series. You already know what I feel about it. I enjoyed these 2 as well. I gave these both 4 stars. As I say, I don't very often give out 5 stars. Most of the things I read, if I enjoy them, I give out 4. But if it has to be something really, really spectacular or really harrowing to make me give out 5 stars. But I really enjoyed these volumes as well. What can I say? It's just a great series. Check it out. Next up, after I picked that up, I read What's Up with Jodie Barton by Hayley Long. This is my first reread of the year. I don't very often reread books, but I read this quite a few years ago. I borrowed it from the library and I enjoyed it, so I picked it up and reread it because I kind of remembered what happened, but there was a few things that I didn't remember or how stuff happened. That's a really bad explanation. But basically this is about twins and just about life. It's one of those sort of young teen books, but it's really enjoyable. And if you know me, you know that I like gay characters, and this one has a secondary gay character, so that's kind of like why I wanted to read this again, because I'm going to do a video about all the different books that I own at some point in the near future. So yeah, this one was still enjoyable. Again, I gave it 4 stars. I know a lot of people like to be really critical with their Goodreads ratings, but if I enjoy something, it gets a 4. Obviously, some things I enjoy a lot more than other things, or some things are more profound than other things. But still, my Goodreads is for me, so I enjoyed it. It got 4 stars. Next up, I don't even know if this will register on camera. Let me just move it a little bit around like this, and maybe you'll see it. I don't know if you saw it in there, but I actually read something on my Kindle. I have so many free books on my Kindle and never read any of them because I own too many books to read. But I picked up Artifice. This is by Alex Wolfson and Winona Nelson. This is just like a mini graphic novel. It was free, so I picked it up, and I'm going to give this one 3 stars. It's basically about this guy who is like a robot, not a robot, but like AI, but he looks completely human because it's in the future and stuff. And it's about his relationship with this other guy that he was meant to have killed. So yeah, it's just a little mini graphic novel, not very many pages, but it was okay. There wasn't much to it, but I could see where they were trying to go with the story. And last but not least, I read Patrick Ness's The Rest of Us Just Live Here. That's so weird how I said the name of the author first. I haven't done that in any of the other books. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of people know what this is about because it's a book that's quite big on YouTube. So basically, this is set in a world where the chosen one thing is happening, but it's about characters that aren't the chosen one. I really like the way it was written, because at every chapter there was like a little paragraph saying, oh, in this paragraph the chosen one has to do this and fight this, and they find out that this happens. And then it goes into the actual chapter and it's about these characters that aren't the chosen ones, and then sometimes their path cross with the people that are in that other chosen one book if it existed. So I thought that sort of idea was really cool and different. But I don't know, I think there was like something lacking, I'm not sure what. I wasn't sure whether to give it 3 or 4. I think I probably would give it 3.5, but I think I put it up to 4 because it felt better than a 3 to me. But I don't know why, but there was just something, maybe it's just because it was quite middle of the road all the way through. Nothing, well, I say nothing big happens. A few things happened. I don't know why, but for some reason it didn't grab me as much as I wanted it to. I don't think there was really a reason for this. I can't pinpoint anything that was bad about it. I enjoyed all the characters. I liked how we had a diverse cast without it trying to shove the fact that they're diverse down your throat. So yeah, there was a lot of good aspects of this. I like the family aspect of it, the relationship between the kind of main characters in this book and their parents. But I don't know what it was, but there was something slightly not there for me. I don't know why, but yeah, it was still a really good book, so I would still recommend this. If you like Patrick Ness, check it out. So yeah, there are all the things that I read in March. A lot of good things, a few okay things, and a bit of a disappointment, but still a pretty good reading month, I think. So comment down below anything that you read in March, or if you've read any of the books that I have, what did you think about them? Did you enjoy them? Did you not enjoy them? Comment all that below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, then subscribe and like, that would be awesome. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I will see you in a few days. Bye.